Hey everyone, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I thought I'd do a little craft with me for Scrap Diva Designs. I'm going to be using this die set. This is in the October release. This is the Acorn Mini Album, and we are going to turn it into a shaker card. So thank you for joining, and I will leave the link to this down below in the description box. I will also leave my referral link. If you click on that and place an order at Scrap Diva Designs, I get a commission from the sale. So thank you guys so much to everyone who uses that. And I have a discount code you could use at checkout there, which is Strawberry Cream, and you'll save 10%. All right, so I take mini albums a lot and turn them into cards. I make more cards than mini albums, although they're really fun to make. I think cards for me are more practical. So that's why I usually use them. And these are some of the dies that this set comes with, and those are the others. I already got them arranged as to what I'm using them for. So these are extra pieces. This is another layering piece for the acorn, and it comes with all of these different leaf dies too, and they do have veining, which is excellent. There's the word fall with the shadow, and then on the other side there's the word hello with the shadow, and then there's this embossing plate too you can use for the cap of the acorn. I don't think I'm going to use that this time, and this is one of the layering pieces that's stitched as well for the top of the acorn, but I don't think I'm going to be using that. I haven't made this yet. I thought we would go for it together, just to show you like my thought process into making cards too, just in case you're wondering. So this is the main part of the die, or this is the main part of the die set. And this is the outer outline of the acorn, and it does have the stem on top. So what I like to do when I make cards, if I can, is to use one of the edges as a hinge for the card. So what I did was I went ahead and cut this piece of paper out like this, and then I folded it in the middle, and then it fits the acorn. So then you go ahead and take your die, and then before you run it through your die cutting machine, you're gonna take the top edge and just place it a little bit above the fold. See that? So if you turn it over, you'll see the cut line is not going to cut the paper. So this will leave this part folded. It'll cut out both both papers, everything around the acorn except for that top edge. So it'll leave like a hinge. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then this is going to be the layering piece for the front part of the card. And this one is stitched, so I'll put it on like this. And I just like that paper. I think it's super cute. The papers I'm using today come from two different sets or paper pads. This is a DCWV Cottage Place collection, which came out in 2021. And then I'm also using some of this one, Farmstead Harvest from American Crafts, and this one came out last year, I think. Yeah, 2023. So these paper pads kind of mix and match well. That's why I use both of them. So anyway, that's going to be the background. And then for the shaker part, we're going to make just the cap of the acorn into the shaker. So these are the two dies I'm going to be using to make it into a shaker. So I'll show you how I tape these onto my cutting plate. So these are going to make the frame. So I'm going to use this paper here. This is a AC cardstock paper to make the frame, and then this is going to be the background of the acorn. So I'm going to use just this die here to cut out the background. But let me show you how I go ahead and make like a shaker frame out of two dies that aren't necessarily made to be shakers. All right, I just wanted to go and get my cutting plate. So this is for a Big Shot, my base, but I use it for my Big Shot Plus too. It works perfectly well. And this is my bottom cutting plate, which is a little warped, but it's okay, it still works. So I am gonna tape these two dies that will make our shaker frame onto my cutting plate. And that way I can cut out the frame and then also my foam board, using these on the cutting plate without having to remove them in between. That way it'll cut out the same identical frame for the paper and for the foam board. So I'm just going to go ahead and tape this on in a couple spots. Sometimes it kind of comes up a little bit. That's why you want to do a few spots. And I'm using mint tape from scrapbook.com. And let's see, let me do a few spots here. because this one's not sticking down. I'm sure if your cutting plates were flat, it would work better, but it works fine like this. All right, so that one is taped down, and of course the cutting side is up on the die. And then I'm going to take this one, the inner one, and do the same thing. Make sure there's kind of like even space all around it, so it, you know, it's nice and neat and even. So just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, we're making a card here. It's nothing like, you know, a work of art for the Metropolitan or something. But still, you want it to look nice, but it doesn't have to be exact is what I'm saying. Okay, so let's get these taped down. This one, I'm going to need some more tape, I think. All right, as long as they're in the, you know, as long as they're in a spot where they're not going to move, it's fine. All right, now that came up. So once I get to my cutting machine, I'm going to, you know, make sure it's in the right spot before I run it through after I put, you know, everything, after I get everything set. So I'm going to go to my cutting machine, run this through like this. I'm just putting the tape on top of there. I'm going to take this off, then put my foam board on top, cut that, and then I will be right back. All right, so I got everything cut. This is the base of the card. Remember, we had the fold up at the top, so when you open it up, it just opens like that. So it's a instant card base when you do it that way. And then this is going to be the background, and you can see it leaves a little bit of that orange edge around it. And then this will be the background of the acorn once we make it into a shaker, or the acorn cap. I keep saying the acorn. And here's where I cut out the frame and then the foam board. And the foam board I use is the one from Walmart. It's from Pen & Gear. It's this big sheet that you could get for $1 in the office supply section. And then I also cut the background piece out of some acetate. This is what I use, which I need to order some more. I get it from Amazon. I'll try to remember to link it down below. It's Duralar 0.005 clear film. I usually get the 9x12 sheet. Sometimes that's not available, and it's a smaller or the bigger pad, but I love these. You know, the dies cut it really well, and it sticks well with glue too to your shaker, so that's always a plus. All right, let me move my little mat over here to protect my surface, and we're going to start our gluing. So the first step in the gluing is to take your frame, the paper one, and you're going to glue your acetate to it. And I cut the stem off the acetate because we're not going to need that. That's not part of the shaker. So the glue I use is Nouveau Deluxe Adhesive, and I use my glue press from scrapbook.com, but you can get it other places too. I love it because you can create, actually I don't need to do the top, just the frame. Just create a, you know, a continuous line, a thin line of glue all the way around. You don't want to leave any spots that are not glued because that's where your shaker bits like to sneak out. Get back here. I'll hold it from there. And when you run the glue along your frame, try to keep it towards the outside of your frame if you can, because it can smear a little bit once you put your acetate on, and that way it'll smear out instead of in towards the acetate. All right, so see, that's our glue line all the way around. And then you take your acetate and you're going to put it face down, which doesn't really matter for this shape because I think it's pretty symmetrical, but we'll do it that way. Okay, and then you're just gonna press it into place. You don't want to move it if you can help it once it's down, because then the glue smears a little bit. And you know, you could always wipe off the glue before it dries. I do that pretty frequently and it's never a problem. I use a little microfiber cloth. Sometimes I'll just wet it and it'll come right off. So it's very forgiving. Okay, so there you go. Make sure it's glued all the way. There's contact all the way around. All right, and there's a little bit of overlap there, so I'm just going to take my little scissors and trim that off. I'm not really sure why, but maybe I just didn't place it on evenly. But no worries. Oh, Gus just came in. You might hear from him in a second. So my craft room, the floor is all done. I'm going to show you guys during my haul. what I have done so far. I've got a lot of stuff moved back in, not everything, but it's coming along. All right, so there's our shaker frame. And then we're going to glue it onto the foam board. So you're going to do the same exact thing. This time we'll put glue up on the stem. And I'm leaving that stem on there just so it's, you know, the same level all the way around, even though it's not a shaker. And just goes here. I love using foam board instead of foam because foam can warp, especially with these bigger shapes, so you don't have to worry about that with foam board. Okay. And then I'm just going to put that down and then just place it on top. And press it down. Again, be careful to get every part in contact with the glue. Nothing worse than when your shaker bits fall out of your card, you know. I mean, there's a lot worse, but it's disappointing. So there we go, and it's a nice thick frame, not too thick, not too thin, you know. I think it's a great size, great depth for your shaker bits, which I haven't gotten out yet, so we'll have to do that next. Okay, so that's our frame. Let's just put this together so you can see what it's going to look like. Okay, so it's going to look like that. And I like to do this before I pick out my shaker bits anyway, just so I could see like what kind of colors I want, you know, that kind of thing. And we'll probably put the sentiments down here too, just to add something and some leaves maybe. So let me get some shaker bits and I'll be right back. All right, I couldn't find all the shaker bits I wanted, but I found like a bunch of like gold and, you know, orangey ones. So I thought we would go ahead and use that. So let's make our shaker. Just gonna turn over the frame. And I don't know if these will fit. These are from Buttons Galore and More. They're shimmers and they're kind of like half circles. They're really pretty. Let's see, they might be too deep. No, I think a few will fit. So let's add a few of those, and if they get a little stuck, it's okay. But I like those. I think those are really pretty. Okay. And then let's see. Now this was, I had them just in a little baggie like this. I thought those were really pretty. Yeah, let's add a few of those too. You know, when you take everything out of your craft room, you see lots of stuff that you forget that you had. So that was kind of cool. So like these sequins, I don't remember having them, but it's nice to find them again. All right, so we have those. Fix that later. And then I just have this like thing of gold sequins. So maybe some stars would be nice in there. And let's see what else. Maybe some of these like browner ones. I'm getting a rug, but I don't have it now, so you can probably hear Gus just like clicking along his nails on the floor. Never had that before. All right, so that's our little shaker mix. And maybe a few more. I don't know if that's enough. This one has some silver in it. I don't really want to use that. So let's just add some just regular gold sequins. And maybe a little bit of the shiny ones. Lately I've been like not adding enough shaker bits, so I'm gonna try and fix that. All right, so now we're ready to glue on the backing. So we're gonna take this backing piece and put it on top, face down of course. Take your glue and you're just gonna run it all the way around. Once again. So yeah, you know, if you're not familiar with making shakers, it takes, you know, there are a bunch of steps. But once you get the hang of it, it's not hard. Oh, I almost dropped that. It's not hard. You know, you just got to do it in a methodical way. And people love to get shaker cards. I know, like my family members, when I send them one in the mail, they say they, you know, they always like shake the envelope to see if it's a shaker card. So they're just so fun. You know, I think it's really worth the extra effort if you can do it. I mean, I don't always send shaker cards, but there's some people I really like to because I know they appreciate them. All right, so everything is pressed down nicely. Just give it another once around. Get those corners. Okay, then we'll turn it over. Oh, doesn't that look pretty? right? Lots of nice shaker bits. I think that was a good idea to add those extra ones. Okay, so back to the card. We are going to glue on the base. So this one I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 glue. You can use, you know, whatever glue you want. I like this because it, oh, I haven't used this in a while. It might be a little clogged. Let's see. I brought some pins over. This glue takes a little bit longer to dry, so you can move it a little bit if you need to. And also, generally, it's easier to cover a large amount, or, you know, a larger space. So I just kind of like blop around like this. So it leaves little dabs of glue and also the glue strands, which just helps to anchor the whole piece. Make sure you get it close to the edge. It does have stitching, so if you get it too close to the edge, the glue kind of seeps out a little bit. So just be aware of that. All right, I could use some more glue, but I think that'll be fine. Okay. So I'm going to put that on the front of our card. And this is just, you know, like a nice fall Thanksgiving card. I love this paper with the little woodland creatures on it, right? Isn't that so cute? Okay, and then we will go ahead and glue our cap on. Let me, yeah, there we go. Okay, and do it the same way. Hey, Gus. He's not thrilled about the change in my craft room, but he'll get used to it. Who is, right? Actually, I love the floor. I'm really happy with it. And it's just been so nice to go through everything in my craft room out of necessity. I'm donating a lot of stuff that I haven't used in years, so I'm feeling good about that. All right, so that's the front of our card. Oh, doesn't that look cute? And that's the inside. So what I'd like to do is make it an inset for the inside of the card, just like another layering piece. And then we will make some of the leaves too that came with it. And we'll do the Hello Fall. So I'll do that off camera to save a little bit of time. I'm just gonna go ahead and take some different papers, make the leaves, and cut out the words, and then I'll be back. All right, we are back, and I got a few things done. I cut out Hello Fall and glued them onto the front. Hello and Fall I cut out of some gold shimmer paper. I used the same background paper that I used for the cap for the shadow, and then I also used some brown foam to pop up the shadow. I cut it out with the shadow die as well and glued those on. And on the inside, I went ahead and made a layering piece and glued that in too. So I didn't put a sentiment in because I'm not sure, what it'll say, but we'll keep that for another time. I also went ahead and cut out a bunch of the leaves, and these leaves dies are great because they cut out 4 at a time. So I cut out 4 different colors, some green, orange, red, gold, and then I made a little twine bow too. I thought I could glue that at the top. You don't want to tie it around because then you can't open your card. So I thought we would just like stick some leaves in randomly and glue them down, and just add some decorations, maybe some of these little sparklets too. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna take some glue and put it on the stem of my leaves, and I'm just gonna do this kind of like freestyle. I tried to leave this up a little bit. And I'm just doing the base of the leaf because I think it'll look nice, just kind of coming up a little from the page, but it's still stuck on. So we'll add a big one and a small one in front of that. Do the same thing on the bottom. Maybe we'll do a big gold one. Did I leave this up? No, you could always peel it up a little bit. And then maybe let's do an orange small one. And I like to just freestyle like this. I don't like to overthink things like this, It just, I don't know, it comes out better to me if you don't overthink it. Okay. And then maybe, let's see, over here. Yeah. Oh, little fruit fly or something. And then let's try a green one too. Come on, glue. I ordered some more nozzles for this because even though the glue press works really well at keeping it from getting clogged, sometimes the nozzle just clogs. Okay, now that one, I have to get that one in a little bit better. Glue that down again. It's looking cute, huh? I think it needs another little something over here, maybe one of the orange ones. Or should we do gold again? Let's do a small gold one. Are you guys still doing fall crafting? I mean, it is still fall, but I know sometimes we like to, you know, go to the next season. I've been doing Christmas too, but fall definitely with Erica's release this month, and I've been having so much fun with that. Oh, doesn't that look cute? They just really add a nice detail to these cards. And like I was saying, I think, I don't know, maybe some shimmers, these little drops that we put inside the shaker. Maybe put one or two, like, yeah, I think that would look nice. Just kind of tie it in together. So I brought over my Lawn Fawn clear glaze. This is great to add on little gemmies like this because it leaves just like a little precision dot. Oh, that's probably too much, but just like that. Oh yeah, that was way too much. Try and get some off. I could always add another one. I should have my tweezers out to do this, but who knows where they are. Okay, and then yeah, I think I will add another one over here to cover up that little glue spot. It needs a little bit more glue though. We'll just change the color a little. That way it looks intentional. Yeah, just like that. And then let's add another one up here too. Maybe another one of those yellowy ones. Is that yellowy? Yeah. Make sure it's the right side. Pretty, right? Yeah, I like that little just sparkle there. All right, so let's figure out what we're gonna do up here. I was thinking maybe some leaves up here as well. Not that one. It's got to be a color that's not that orange. Maybe just this red. Yeah, I'll add a couple leaves and then put the bow on top. Okay, my glue doesn't want to work, so I'll just use this. Okay, so let's put one of those. And then maybe, let's do it green one since I didn't use much green yet. And then, let's see, get the flattest side. For the bow. There's that. And then, you know what? I'll probably stick a couple leaves down here. I'll do that after everything dries, but I'll put some leaves on the inside just to kind of carry it to the inside. But for now, that is our card. Shall I measure this? I do have a little grid on my mat, but let me just use my ruler. Okay, so top to bottom, it's a nice size card, about 6 3/4. No, closer to 7. And then side to side, it's almost 5 inches. So really nice big card. It'll fit into a 7x5 card envelope. So yeah, thank you guys so much for crafting with me in this little crafty tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like my fall card. And let me know if you try something like this. And you can use this technique for the shaker for any other die set you have as well that, you know, has nesting kind of dies. But that's it for today. The products will be linked down below, as well as my referral link and my coupon code. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back soon with more crafty videos. Until then, I hope you guys have a great day. All right, take care. Bye.